Harris stays into block. Another thread the needle pass. And look who catches this one. A guy you do not heard much of the last couple of seasons, Paris Jackson. You could hear the crowd, and that's a good word. Because here is a guy a few years ago who was one of the star receivers with the BC Lions and has been relegated really to special teams and backup roles. And he's actually embraced that role.
Yeah, embraced it, played hard in those roles, played hard covering kicks, is there and available, works hard in practice. He's a coach now, and he understands how important that is. High school football coach here in the Lower Mainland.
He's a guy who used to regularly go for 1,000 yards a season and 127 last year. Again, the outlet. And suddenly, Paris Jackson is seeing more action offensively in this game than he did almost all of last season.
If you're just joining us, Sean Gore was hit hard in the first half by Jackson of the Toronto Argonauts and will not return. They're checking him and doing the concussion protocol. So Paris Jackson fills in his spot.
Never easy to lose your job as a starter. Pride gets wounded, but you still come back and you be a pro about it. Paris Jackson has done that. 2nd and 3 from the Argonaut 38-yard line. Lule, deep drop here, and look out. Andrew Harris has some running room. There he goes, and brought down by Jaleel Carter, the hero last week, knocking that pass away from Andy Vantouz in the Hamilton game. This time had to knock Andrew Harris out of bounds, but still a gain of 9, Glenn.
Gain of 9 as they get Andrew Harris so quickly, and the key to the success of this play is how quickly it evolves. So it doesn't allow Toronto to get their blitz package coming, and so Lule can get the football to his playmakers. You saw the quick hitch on the previous down to Paris Jackson, that to Andrew Harris off the opposite side.
Officials may have missed a face mask call on that tackle. You can hear the crowd. They saw it in the big screen here. And there is that Wildcat again, and the direct snap back to Harris. The thing about the BC Lions, you never know what's coming with them. Maybe in years past you knew that Geroy Simon was always kind of that target, or Arland Bruce. This is an offense that really spreads the faith.
And so they should. I mean, when you have a lot of talent, you want to see if you can keep the defense on edge, keep them guessing as to where you're going to move the football. And nice to have the luxury of a veteran like Paris Jackson to come in for Sean Gore. Now it's up to Chris Jones, who's got a good reputation of his own, to switch things up as he sees things evolve. And I love these chess matches in football.
Yes, I do too. Chapdelaine, one thing about the BC Lions, they've never run the same play twice. And Marcus' ball was about 2 yards into the backfield. The question is, was he drawn offside? Did the Lions move first? Likely the Argos.
It's interesting to see Chris Jones down in that stance on the sideline.
Looks like he's ready.
He's back up now and pondering the next call. But when that play was about to be snapped, he was down in the stance.
Offside.
Watching.
Toronto, number 6. Remains 2nd down.
And I know why now, because it was an all-out blitz. Both Marcus Ball and Brandon Isaac came on the blitz there, so he was ready to see some pressure from his unit, and they jumped the gun.
Chris Jones, who's won 3 Grey Cup rings with Montreal, Calgary, Toronto, recognized as a defensive guru. Got a lot of talk in the offseason about leaving the Argos, possibly being a head coach elsewhere.
There's his stance.
There it is. Certainly a candidate. Montreal decided to stay with the Argos. Look for the repeat. Argos down big here tonight. 11. Lule now scrambling and will toss it out of bounds wisely. No one home.
Take a shot, you know, in 2nd and short, and you come in on 3rd down and run short yardage now for the BC Lions. So they go in shotgun, and it's not a bad strategy because we've seen teams run the ball in short yardage out of shotgun. I don't necessarily think it's the best thing to do all the time because you take the ball off the line of scrimmage. However, they have done it, and this time try to take a shot for the end zone. If it doesn't work, throw it out of bounds, put your short yardage team out there.
All right, Guru, let's see what the Argos have in store here. They need a stop here. 3rd down and 1. DeMarco behind center. High formation now. Everybody moves up. It's going to be DeMarco's ball. And a little stutter step at the beginning. There is a penalty flag way back at the goal line.
Let's see what that is.
Way back at the goal line.
Far corner. You mentioned guru. It's easy to be a guru, partner, when you're in the booth here.
Yes.
It's a little harder when you're down on
There is no infraction on the play. No penalty. First down.
Okay, no flag.
You know, you know, the pressure cooker down on that sideline, and we're watching a couple of the best, and Chris Jones and Jacques Chaplin go back and forth. You see Michael O'Shea in the background. There's some good coaches in this league right now, and it's a whole different ball game when you're on the field. Believe me.
11th play of this drive. Lions have certainly owned the time of possession, making it harder on the Argos defense. They've been on the field a lot here. Harris carries the nail again. David Lee, second-year player, Western Mustang.
Yeah, he shot the gap, and that's how you try and break down this running game a little bit. When Andrew Harris, as he mentioned at halftime with Farhan, when he gets going, gets the ball, gets in that rhythm, he's hard to stop because he hits the bubble so quickly in the run game. But that time, David Lee, he penetrates, gets deep in the backfield, and now you've got Andrew Harris bouncing, turning his shoulder pads to the sideline instead of downfield, and you allow your teammates to rally to number 33. Very different story from 1 week ago.
Another key down here for both sides. 2nd and 12 after a loss of 2. Here's the rush again. Lule fires and almost picked off. Pat Watkins looked like he might have had his gloves on it for a second.
Yeah, it looked like he had one. Looked like he had his first of 2013. He had 5 interceptions. Probably the best cover man in the Argos secondary. He's come from the right to the left, and it was Marco Iannuzzi that was the intended target. It looked like that ball fluttered a little bit and was a little off target. Little to the outside. Watkins had a better shot at it than Iannuzzi, who became DB there.
Hugh O'Neill, 2 of 3 now. This one's from the 24-yard line to extend the lead for the Lions. Kick is up and right down Main Street. 2-touchdown lead now for the BC Lions. The Argos almost had the pick. The league lost a legend, a great coach and player. Jack Gotta passed away this past weekend at the age of 83. He was a player in Saskatchewan and Calgary. Played on both sides of the ball, as a matter of fact. He's a former Saskatchewan Rough Rider. Then he became a head coach.
Yeah, 3-time coach of the year. Led Ottawa to a Grey Cup title in '73. I got a chance to play for Jocko, and it was a sad day when I heard the news, because I don't think before or after I've ever met a coach or played for a coach that had such great balance between the importance of being serious in the game and your profession and with having fun playing it. And you know, Jack Gotta could captivate an audience. So when he stood in front of the football team, you laughed with him. He told a great story. On the field, he'd keep you loose, but you couldn't mistake that for weakness. He was on you, and professionally, he wanted you to play that way, and there was always that sense of urgency with great balance. Outstanding football player and coach, even better person.
Our condolences to the Gotta family. CFL loses a legend in Jack Gotta. Chad Cackard after the pickup by Spencer Watt of 13. Ricky Ray goes back to his running back slash fullback slash power back slash superstar. A guy, again, you look at the way he came into this league. He was cut from the Argos, stuck around. Not many people paid attention. Got a chance in a preseason game, did great things.
Yeah.
Was playing behind Corey Boyd for a while, got his chance, made the best of it. You know what? Never give up. Never give up.
And when you get your shot, take full advantage. Leave it out there. He certainly plays like that every down.
2nd and 9. Ray, here comes the rush again. Slings it over the top. Ricky Ray has just been off that much tonight with his receivers. Jason Barnes certainly not in the same zone he was a week ago, and maybe that has a lot to do with the pressure from the BC Lions defensively, not only up front but in the secondary.
Yeah, it does. It does. That can obviously affect your accuracy in the throws when you're feeling the pressure, even if it's not sacks or hits. You can feel it. Karan Williams was in the vicinity of that last play, but there's lots of time left. And with a guy like Ricky Ray, you better do it for 60 minutes or he'll get you.
I'm sure Mike Benavides is talking a lot about those field goals that they have to take, the BC Lions, because this one still is very much to be determined, even though the Argos are being outplayed. Here's our sack tally brought to you by Purolator, tackling hunger across Canada. Check. You see the Toronto Argonauts, who have 2 sacks tonight, but they're trailing in this game. Obviously a not very good indicator, because the BC Lions still have yet to record a sack this season, which is remarkable considering they were the sack leaders a year ago.
And had the sack leader in Karan Williams.
Yeah.
Individually.
47 quarterback sacks in 2012, 0 through a game and almost 3 quarters. That will change them. Lule. And this is picked by Jaleel Carter. Carter with a huge play here. Cuts back now, and the Toronto Argonauts finally catch the break they need. Jaleel Carter, who was the hero a week ago, the knockdown in the corner with Andy Fantuz to seal the victory, has his first interception of 2013.
Watch Chris Jones create some of his magic here. Watch the movement here from this defense. David Lee, watch over to the left of your screen. He lines up at defensive end. Now watch, this is Chris Jones' magic right here. Now he moves him over here. Now he comes over to this side. Travis Lule is trying to figure out exactly what Marcus Ball moves up here. All this movement as he's trying to figure it out. Steps up, feels pressure, throws it inside. Interception, Toronto.
That's a souvenir, his first career CFL interception. Furthest penetration for the Argos. Cackert goes flying on a big hit on the corner. Then Jay Shell, the former Toronto Argonaut, reintroduces himself to Chad Cackert.
It's a little hesitation, a little confusion there on the part of Travis Lule, and that ball just not on target to Nick Moore. Jaleel Carter takes advantage of all that action up front in front of Lule's face.
Big power, right? Big power.
Second down and 2. Again, the Lions have owned the stats board and scoreboard so far, but now the Argos are coming hard. Not this time. Chad Cackert, Sullivan Aluminium in his tracks.
Yeah, there's a difference maybe in run defense, 5-6, because 200 yards on the ground the Lions defense gave up last week without Sullivan Aluminium in the lineup. Now they've lost Adam Bighill, but look at the quick read. He shoots through the hole, hits a bell right in the shoulder pad, fights off that block, and is in the backfield to take on Cap.
One of the key plays now. The Argos are going for it, deciding against a field goal attempt. Let's see how this works out. The rush again, Ray again, and Owens again. Oh my, Chad Owens.
Confidence.
Talk about clutch.
Confidence and confidence. It was a one-on-one. He got Chad Owens on the short side of the field, and Owens is going to dance his way to a first down. He shaked and baked this route about 4 or 5 times to try and shake Dante Marsh and gets just enough separation. And Rich Stubler, defensive coordinator for the BC Lions, knew it was that close. That's a great one-on-one battle there.
Stubler, a former head coach in Toronto. So many connections here between the Lions and the Argos. Cackert up the pipe. And Lindsay Shell again, so now a critical second down, hovering near the goal line.
Well, that was a big call. That's a big call by Scott Milenovich, and to go to Chad Owens is not a surprise, but watch the route running here from Chad Owens. It gets the one-on-one matchup on Dante Marsh. 2 pros, watch the shake a bit, shake, 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 and then turn the quick out, holds Dante Marsh for just a split second, and the timing of the throw right on the money.
Well, they go back to CO2. Andre Drury just brought play in the sideline.
Timeout call.
Need a timeout called. This year you are allowed 2 timeouts, not one
BC.
per half. So it was BC calling the timeout here.
And I think they had a personnel issue, Rod. It looked like
Yeah, this is not a time you would likely call the timeout to burn one here.
no, they didn't want to, but they had to because personnel-wise they were scrambling after the third down gavel again. A good, a hard, aggressive call is the word I'm looking for with Scott Milenovich to say, listen, field goal is probably conventional wisdom. You kick it there with a whole quarter to play, but it's 3rd and 3. I've got confidence in my quarterback and my MOP. They get the first down. The next play, Mike Benavides didn't have the right personnel on the field. They started to turn around and question each other, so called the timeout.
The Argos, who have not found the end zone yet tonight, did so often a week ago against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. In fact, struck first early on. Down 14, 2nd and goal. Passing down here. Ray to the far side, looking for Jury. And that one floated on Ricky Ray and floated past the outstretched fingertips of Andre Dury. And this time they are not going for it. They will bring out Noel Prefontaine for 3.
A couple plays ago, you mentioned that pressure can affect your accuracy a little bit. And Andre Dury had a chance here. If Ricky Ray, again, he is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the game's history. He doesn't miss receivers like that. But Corey Banks came off the edge, through that gap between the tackle and the guard, which is called the B gap, affects the accuracy of Ricky Ray, and they got to kick a field goal now.
Prefontaine has one earlier. This is the chip shot again, back in for the injured Swayze Waters. Not certain when Waters will return, but nice to have Prefontaine. So the Argos certainly still in this. Scott Milenovich knows, again, statistically, and the game is about numbers at times, but throw the numbers out. The Argos still very much in this ball game. The BC Lions had more than enough opportunities to make this a big, big lead.
Remember when Andrew Harris just before the half said to Farhad, you got to turn those field goals into touchdowns.
There's so much of our world to uncover, and Discovery has created a channel that captures it all. Discovery World free preview all July. Call your television provider for more information. Seven seconds to go in this 3rd quarter. And then we might be setting the stage for what could be a wild 4th. Again, the BC Lions without Sean Gore at receiver, out with a concussion, apparent concussion. Adam Bighill, a leg injury is what we know. And he is out of the ball game, maybe for the next little while as well. So 2 components of the BC Lions, key ones, missing right now. Argos battle back, get some points off that interception by Jalil Carter. Prefontaine puts his boot into it. Now Corey Williams has some blocking here. And almost had a seam. And he's brought down. There is newcomer this year, Shane Horton, who made that tackle. Shane Horton, his dad, speaking of lineage, played in the CFL at one time. Mike played for Toronto and Calgary, but even more interesting, he was one of the American Gladiators. You ever watch that show a few years ago?
Oh yeah.
He was Gemini. His dad was Gemini.
The name alone got me to it. I think it had gladiators in it. I'm going to check it out.
It's a 40.
A lot of sons of famous fathers on this Argo roster. Last play, 3rd quarter. Harris Jackson getting his turn tonight with the injury to Sean Gore. That's the last play of the 3rd quarter. Not a lot of scoring now. Defenses clamping down. Lions still lead, but the Argos are creeping back into it.